Hello and a warm welcome to TBC News. Our top stories. Prime Minister orders stern measures to protect people with albinism. Guinea-Bissau president set for a two-day visit to Tanzania. Good evening, I am Faida Ngaga. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online. Also, get all the latest news through Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBC Online. Prime Minister Kassim has directed all regional commissioners to ensure that each municipal council has a special security system to protect people with albinism. He gave the directive today in Parliament in Dodoma during questions and answers session, insisting that any act of violence against people with albinism is totally unacceptable.
Ibara ya 14 ya Katiba ya Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania.
Article 14 of the United Republic of Tanzania states the right of a person to live and get protection of life from the society in accordance with the law. On that basis, people with albinism and any kind of disability are protected by the country's constitution. Due to the existence of misconception associated with cruelty killing people with albinism, including the desire of riches, these concepts are wrong and should be ignored, and the society needs to condemn these actions.
Prime Minister has instructed regional and district authorities to encourage community participation in ensuring the protection and adherence to the rights of people with albinism, insisting any act of albino killing involves a network of people. He adds that the government has already put in place an effective security control system, calling on the community to ensure that such evil practices are eliminated in the country. The Prime Minister also urges religious leaders to continue to condemn all evil acts that are happening in the country, especially the killing of people with albinism. In other news, Permanent Secretary Ministry of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation Ambassador Samueli Shelukindo says the trade balance between Tanzania and Guinea-Bissau for the year 2016-2021 has reached $200,000. He made the remarks while announcing a two-day official visit of the President of Guinea-Bissau to Tanzania, Umaro Sissoco Embalo, from the 21st to the 22nd of June, aiming to promote the level of trade between the two countries and boost African Continental Free Trade Area agenda.
Guinea depends a lot on agriculture, especially on cashew nut crop, and the statistics show that 90% of their sales abroad depend on this crop. They produce a lot of cashew nut, but they don't have enough industry. So it is possible for them to want our industry to partner with them in order to add value.
Furthermore, Ambassador Shelukindo adds that the visit will include discussions among the two countries targeting to boost cashew production and its business system. Also, President Embalo is expected to visit the standard gauge railway project as one of his study tour. The European Union has signed a financing tool grant agreement worth 11.23 billion Tanzanian shillings with the Financial Sector Deepening Trust, FSDT. The fund aims to enhance inclusive finance opportunities for small and medium enterprises, SMEs, led by women and youth in Tanzania. Speaking in Dar es Salaam at the Grow with the European Union Finance Session, the Commissioner for Financial Sector Development from the Ministry of Finance, Charles Mwamwaje, says the signed agreement, amongst other EU initiatives, align with the national policies related to SMEs.
I would like very much to recognize and appreciate the collaboration that the government of Tanzania is having with the European Union, different other stakeholders, as well as all the participants participants in this important agenda of access to finance. And indeed, this is very well aligned with our national development policies when it comes to issues related to the support of SMEs.
We are very proud indeed to showcase today the results of our recent years' work in facilitating and bringing more finance to the country for the growth of micro, small, medium-sized and corporate enterprises. A conducive business environment is essential for business to thrive, and accessible finance is indeed its lifeblood. The European Union has provided a 360-degree approach to investments in Tanzania, from supporting the blueprint regulatory reform agenda.
And as a public institution, we are always looking for ways to increase the value proposition that we have for our partners and for the economies that we support. We are here to aim to support growth and to aim to support job increase and a sustainable economy.
The government has launched a subsidiary company for the management of pharmaceutical warehouses in the country, MSD Medifarm Manufacturing, together with the board of management of the company, as one of their strategies to increase local production of drugs in the country and reduce the cost of importing drugs. Launching the company in Arusha, the Minister of Health, Umi Mwalimu, has instructed the board to ensure it oversees reforms to ensure availability of medicines in the country. It's a report by Sitirela Kongola, read to you by Teddy Parnyanga.
The launch of a subsidiary company, MSD Medifarm, together with its board management, has been called to be a great step in boosting local drug production.
After being given this work of production, MSD did not wait for Tanzu to be established, but it began implementing the moment they were given the responsibility. I would like to say that we have already done a big job in this area. This is a holding company, and its job is to ensure that companies are effective.
The program has been mentioned as an important step to increase the availability of medicines and reduce the cost of importing medicines from other countries.
What is the potential of Medifarm? With a few products that we have in our project, we have really been able to save a lot of money. Our trends show that we aim at producing products that other companies have not yet focused on.
The Minister of Health, Umi Mwalimu, has launched the company together with the board management and giving the instructions from the government.
The establishment of MSD Medifarm Manufacturing Company align with our national vision of being independently producing important medicine and medical tools towards the year 2030. We have set a goal. Right now, 90% of the medical supplies and medicine are from outside the country. We want to reduce the dependence up to 50%. So this board has a huge task to do.
Chief Executive Officer of the Benjamin Kaa Foundation, Dr. Ellen Sankoro, says her foundation will continue to cooperate with the government to improve the health sector in the country by providing jobs and funding health professionals to learn and practice medical services and provide better services to the people. Dr. Sankoro made the remarks in the run-up to the commemoration of the death of the president of the third phase government, Benjamin William Mkapa, insisting that the institution will continue to cooperate with other stakeholders to strengthen the health sector to honor the legacy left behind by President Mkapa in the health sector.
This is all a part of putting more emphasis on the good things done by the government in strengthening health services. For example, we see all that they have built good buildings in various parts of the country, so we have to come to fill the gaps that exist. Specifically, the issue of health workers. As we design our projects, we communicate and work hand in hand with the health sectors.
The government has continued to provide various guidelines to ensure the quality of training provided produces professionals in this area.
The main objective of the presentation is to ensure that we have productivity and quality professionalism in the health services, that we have the provider of the health services are encouraged on ethical issues.
Administrative Secretary in the Tabora region, Dr. John Mboya, urges government leaders, employees and citizens in the region to take advantage of investment opportunities in the capital markets and various institutions guaranteed by the government to improve their income through legal investment activities. Dr. Mboya made the call when he met and held talks with a team of experts from the Ministry of Finance who are in the region to provide financial education to various groups, including employees, traders and entrepreneurs.
I thank the Ministry of Finance for coming to our region to encourage us leaders and citizens to invest in capital market and give us financial education. It is a very important thing since many people are not aware of the opportunities available in investments, and we should also be aware of these financial services such as SACCOs and other groups.
On the other hand, the Community Development Officer and Coordinator of Small Business and Financial Services in Uyui District, Cledus Mbawala, says at the district level, his office has been monitoring and ensuring that all institutions involved in financial matters are licensed by the Bank of Tanzania and they follow the rules and procedures in carrying out their duties.
Our department deals with providing education about financial services in the society, such as education about financial groups, such as VCOBA and other institutions. Our call is that institutions should have a permit and be registered.
Furthermore, the Financial Management Officer, Financial Sector Development Department, Ministry of Finance, Limi Bulugu, says the team is in Tabora to offer financial education to citizens of various groups in the 4 districts of Uyui, Urambo, Sikonga, and Tabora municipality. As the world today marks Refugee Day, the United Nations says an unprecedented 70.8 million people around the world have been forced to leave their homes by conflict and persecution by the end of 2018. Among them are nearly 30 million refugees, over half of whom are under the age of 18. Peter Mganga has more.
Refugees are among the most vulnerable people in the world. The 1951 Refugees Convention and its 1967 protocol helps to protect them. They are the only global legal instruments explicitly covering the most important aspects of a refugee's life. According to their provisions, refugees deserve as a minimum the same standards of a treatment enjoyed by other foreign nationals in a given country and in many cases the same treatment as the nationals. The 1951 Convention contains a number of rights and also highlights the obligation of refugees toward their host country. The cornerstone of the 1951 Convention is the principle of non-refoulement. According to this principle, a refugee should not be returned to a country where he or she faces serious threats to his or her life or freedom. This protection may not be claimed by refugees who are reasonably regarded as a danger to the security of the country or having been convicted of a particularly serious crime are considered a danger to the community. The world is witnessing the highest levels of displacement on record. It is approximated that 70.8 million people around the world have been forced from home by conflict and persecution at the end of 2018. Among them are nearly 30 million refugees, over half of whom are under the age of 18. There are also millions of stateless people who have been denied a nationality and access to basic rights such as education, healthcare, employment, and freedom of movement.
Tourism stakeholders in Arusha have expressed their hope in the growth of cultural tourism sector that uses the art of sculpting and painting to convey country's cultural heritage to the world. Some of the tourism stakeholders who visited the Tabora Design Art Carving and Painting Center that was officially opened recently say the presence of the center will stimulate growth of Tanzanian artists by increasing market access.
They've brought these arts from different parts of the country, and they've engaged local artists from paintings, from carvings, from all these different kind of designs. But one thing very unique is now this is kind of graduating to be one of the tourism product in Tanzania through cultural tourism.
It's amazing how he's made all these products with the local woodwork, local employees that is got from Tanzania, and it's amazing work, especially to show like what we're capable of doing. It's an amazing portfolio, and I'm sure it'll be quite a success with, you know, especially the tourism industry who can purchase these local products from here.
One of the goals with opening this design studio was to show that you can get high quality items throughout Africa. So we're trying to show that we can obtain this stuff here, and it can be of a quality that is like a museum. So as an architect, as a designer, I'm only as good as my fundis, I'm only as good as my craftspeople. So I value them immensely, because without them, I can't do anything.
Some of the sculptors point out that the sector still faces marketing challenge, at times even diminishing their dreams and hindering the exposure of Tanzanian culture to the international community. Now, before we wind up local news, let's take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania, BOT. Do not miss Tbcnews every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. It's time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news as compiled and read to you by Nyambona Masamba.
International news starts in Nairobi, where riot police have used tear gas to disperse protesters who gathered near the parliament protesting and proposed rising taxes. They have been pushed back by police who are using tear gas against demonstrators. The controversial bill, by slight watered down financial bill, will go back to the parliament for more debate later. It introduces basically more taxes to Kenyans to include supply of goods such as bread. The matches were also seen in different cities such as Eldoret, President William Ruto's hometown. Protesters say the tax increases will hurt the economy and make it harder for Kenyans to make ends meet. Rather than presidents say they needed to boost government revenue and reduce borrowing. Kenya has been cash-strapped and struggling with cost of living crisis. President Ruto of Kenya wanted to increase taxes to raise $2 billion. That is 1.9% of GDP to rely on less than external loans. It furious mostly among young Kenyans. To Sudan, reports from Sudan say paramilitary rapid support forces have taken control of Al-Fula. That's the capital of West Kordofan state, which is southwest of Sudanese capital Khartoum. Fighting Al-Fula between Sudanese army and RSF lasted for several hours before the army withdrew from the city. The paramilitary group took control of the government and military headquarters there. Thousands have been killed and millions displaced in the conflict between the army and RSF. Al-Fula was the last of remaining two strongholds under the army control of the state of West Kordofan. With the attack of RSF on the military base there and overthrow of the Sudanese army that now leaves only one single military base around the entire state, a similar situation that is in Al-Fashir to East Asia. The Philippines military is demanding the Chinese force guard return rifles and equipment seized during the confrontation in a dispute area of the South China Sea. It is calling for repatriation for what is calling the Chinese side's pirate-like looting. The Philippines military has released video it says shows Chinese Coast Guard forces pulling its vessels and attacking the crew with axes, knives, and machetes. The Philippines sides were delivering supplies to its grounded warship in a disputed area of the South China Sea. But China said the Philippines is also to blame for the incident. It is accused the Filipino boat of deliberately running its vessels. Meanwhile, the authorities in China have enacted emergency plans as the Swollen River's slant overflow after days of torrential rain and flash floods. Heavy rains in China coastal areas have already killed at least 9 people. Guangdong province upgraded its emergency response plan to the second highest level. This has coordinated and deployed resources across the flooding-stricken province to neighboring Bangladesh. In northern eastern Bangladesh, flash floods has stranded 700,000 people. Some of the displaced have taken shelter in schools. In southeast, 10 people have been killed in landslides in Coast Bazar district.
That was international news. Sports news up next. And in sports news, Tanzania Sports Council Officer Abel Odena calls on Tanzania swimming national team players to ensure victory over Kenya Swimming Championship as one way of promoting Tanzania at international level. Speaking during the handing over of the national flag to swimming national team, Odena tells the swimmers to compete with great patriotism in the competition so as to outclass their opponent and collect medals. Words echoed by Coach Alex Moipasi.
As they have said that they are going to make a good performance, that means they can perform well with the high performance. We wish we can have a medal. That means all of them, they have bring us a good medal to their nation, to our country. We wish them that, and we appreciate that. They have got a morality very high, they have prepared well, and they will bring us to the next level.
We have prepared well our team, and we believe we will come back with a victory. I do hope these swimmers will make Tanzania proud.
The Tanzania swimming national team is expected to travel tomorrow to Nairobi for a special invitation for the swimming competition to be held on Saturday in Kenya. In other sports news, Tanzania professional boxer Ramadhani Mzee says he is training hard, ready to outclass his opponent Ramadhani Kumbele in thrilling flyweight contest planned to take place on June 30th in Dar es Salaam. Speaking after training in Dar es Salaam, boxer Mzee believes that he is ready with power, speed and endurance for the performance against Kumbele in a do-or-die fight, while his coach Ali Mkumbange adds that his boxer is set for an entertaining game.
I'm doing well with the training, so my opponent has to get well prepared for a fight. He's working hard in training and he's ready for the fight. And I ask fans to turn up in numbers to enjoy a massive fight.
Simba Sports Club Information and Communication Manager Ahmed Ali says the club is strategizing in signing top players so as to conquer local and top African football competitions and bring back joy to the club's fans next season. Ali told a Tbcnews reporter in Dar es Salaam that the club will sign players who are hungry for success and who long for success in international spheres.
What I can assure Simba fans is that we are going to recruit a very strong and a very good players to make sure the next season we are going to regain our kingdom. We are going to regain our trophies.
Simba FC will play for CAF Confederation Cup next season, and they have started to overhaul the squad as the club has already left out players like John Boko, Kennedy Juma, Louis Mukuison, and Shambani Chidunda. And that's it for sports, but before we wind up, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello viewers, this is Amina Saleh from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Welcome to 24 weather forecasting starting from tonight. The wind is expected to flow at the speed of 40 km per hour over the entire coast, and the state of the sea is expected to be rough. Over the Lake Victoria and Lake Nyasa, the wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 km per hour. The state of the lakes are expected to be moderate. Over the Lake Tanganyika, the wind is expected to flow at the speed of 40 km per hour. The state of the lake is expected to be rough. Tanzania Meteorological Authority had issued an advisory of strong wind reaching 40 km per hour and large waves reaching 2 meters over the entire coast and along the Lake Tanganyika. For tonight, parts of northern coast, which include Tanga and islands of Unguja and Pemba, are expected to feature partly cloudy condition with light rain showers over few areas. And the rest part of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions. And the minimum temperature is expected to be 9 over Mbeya and Njombe regions. For tomorrow, parts of Lake Victoria Basin, which include Kagera, are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, thunder showers over few areas, and sun period. Over Tanga and islands of Unguja and Pemba are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, rain showers over few areas, and sun period. Over the northeastern highlands are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over few areas, and sun periods. And the rest part of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy conditions. Now let's have a look on 4 days weather forecasting. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, thanks for watching and have a good night.
And on that note, we're ending our news bulletin for tonight. Do not miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Faida Ngaga. Good night.